Everybody, and welcome back to Slowpoke Racing and to the Ultimate Racing League, sponsored by Eldridge Air Conditioning. We are at round 4 of our Sunday Championship. I'm with the AM or Amateur 2 guys, and for round 4 we've come over to Italy for the fictional track of Autodromo Lago Maggiore. It's a mouthful, that is, isn't it? Lago Maggiore from now on. It's as I say, full fictional track. 3.6 miles and 17 turns. Great track, actually. I quite enjoy this one. It always produces some good racing, some very quick straight, some very tight turns. Everybody in the Group 4 or the GR4 Corvette, and we have had some fantastic racing from these guys. I only picked this stream up from Idle 4 Gaming after his internet decided to throw wobbly on him, so I sort of stepped in to help him out. So I've only picked up the last couple of races, but from what I've seen, it's been absolutely fantastic. So looking forward to more of the same here. I will have to apologise. I've still got my cough for those that listened last time. Hopefully I've got rid of the echo that was there. I really do apologise for that. I think I hit the wrong button on this talkie box thing I've got. But I've still got the cough, so if I do suddenly burst into a cough, like I say, I'll apologise now. Anyway, onwards and upwards into race 1. It is just an out-and-out sprint race. Everybody on soft tyres. No pit stops scheduled, unless something drastic happens. It is, as I say, just a sprint. We've got 12 on grid. So let's have a look, shall we, and see where they all sit. Excuse me, cough right on cue. Bandit put himself on pole position. He really is shaping up to be a championship contender, isn't he, Bandit? Really put in some fantastic results just lately. So we definitely want to keep an eye on. Max is in second, another very quick driver as well, so he'll be pushing Bandit all the way. We've got Steele in third. Flash is fourth, and thank you to Flash for sharing the replays for us. If he didn't do that, then we wouldn't be bringing them to you, so much appreciated from Flash. We've got G. Smith in 5th, Firepower is in 6th, Hawkeye 7th, Addy is 8th, System X is 9th, with Golden Lugnuts 10th, Castrian 11th, and Sid the Sloth in 12th. So a good turnout for this round 4 in Italy. Everybody must enjoy this track. So without further ado, let's crack on, shall we? 13 laps ahead of us. And as I've already mentioned, it is a sprint race. You can see capacity crowd there up in the stands and spread throughout the track as the klaxon goes and Bandit gets us off to a start, then down towards turn 1. Now turn 1 and 2, very, very tricky. If you get the entrance into turn 1 wrong, it really doesn't set you up very well for 2 and 3. So you've got to be careful. You don't go too far out there onto the grass, and it looks like everybody's pretty much getting through there safely, although System X almost getting tangled up with Lugnuts and Sid the Sloth there. But they've all managed to get through. Then we go into turn 4 and then start on down the hill towards turn 5, and it looks like Bandit and Max are already trying to open up a bit of a gap back to Steele in third as they go into turn 5. Bit of a tricky turn this one is. As soon as you do the right-hander, you start to get onto the power and you're starting up the hill. So you have to be careful you don't get on the accelerator too early. Firepower there, getting up to 5th, and looks like he's coming under a bit of close attention from Hawkeye, but Firepower going through the S's, moves up into 5th. He can get on after G. Smith now. Give him the chase. I need to have a swig of my coffee because I feel like coughing. Coffee? Coffee for a cough. Sorry about that. So as we head on down the straight, 800 metres between turn 10 and 11, and then we're into the hard braking zone to get this right-hander, a very tight, almost hairpin turn at the bottom of the hill. Firepower through there in 5th, Hawkeye in 6th, then we've got Flash in 7th with Addy literally in the boot of his car. And let's jump on board with Flash, shall we, and have a look and see what it's like from his point of view. See Addy having a right good sniff around the rear end of Flash's Corvette as they go through turn 14 in towards turn 15. Nearly completed lap 1 here in Italy. down the hill they go. It's still Flash in 7th with Addy in 8th. Golden Luglock's just behind in 9th. Into turn 17. A long sweeping left-hander downhill. Back onto the power as early as you possibly can. And then across the start-finish line to start lap 2. We'll just stick with Flash as we go into turn 1. We will do a lap with one of the drivers, as Flash really takes a good old chunk out of that corner. You can get away with quite a lot actually on this track. There are a few areas where you'll pick up penalties, but for the majority of the track you can really abuse the limit and not pick up penalties, and that's exactly what Flash is trying to do. Addy in 8th, then we've got Golden Lugnuts in 9th, all going very, very wide, but again, another part. Oh, we've had somebody that's gone off. It's Addy that's gone off, and a bit of a, not the best of returns onto track there for Addy. Excuse me. So around turn 4, oh, he did go very, very deep into that turn, didn't he? The back end just stepped out. Bit of a kiss with barrier, but then reverses straight back onto the track. It's a good job he ghosted. Really should have waited for the other cars to pass before returning back onto the track. So as I say, good job the ghosting system is on. Otherwise that could have ended up, well, quite a pile up actually. But that's poor old Addy now down in 12th position after that spin out. And a bit of catching up to do. Now if you look at the map in the top right, you can see there are gaps starting to appear. We have got Bandit and Max that are starting to pull away. Bandit just serving a half-second penalty there. Is it going to affect his track position? I don't think. Oh, it might do. As Max has a bit of a look up the inside as they go into turn 11. And yeah, that half-second penalty of Bandit has cost him the lead, as Max says thank you very much and waves to him as he goes by. So Max now up into the lead of this race and Bandit in second, but Bandit hasn't finished yet, has he? He wants that lead position back again. Maybe what he could do is just sit behind Max for a few laps. Excuse me. Just keep the pressure on Max, trying to force a mistake from him. There's plenty of racing ahead. Bandit doesn't need to push too hard at the minute. We are only coming to the end of lap 2, so we do have another 11 laps to go. But Bandit in a real rush to get this lead back as he pulls to the inside out of turn 17 and gets an excellent exit, which sets him up for a good entry into turn 1. He has got the inside line. Max is trying to fight it, but has to concede that corner as they go into turn 2. It is Bandit back out in front with Max slotting in just behind him through turn 3 and then up towards turn 4 they go. So a fantastic battle brewing between those two. Let's just have a look and see what's happening elsewhere. Smith is now up into 3rd with Steele in 4th, Hawkeye in 5th. Flash is 6th and Firepower dropped down to 7th, so I'm not quite sure what's happened to him. But shall we have a look? No, we've got to go back a long way. So sorry we missed that, but Firepower drops down to 7th. So as I say, we've got Smith in 3rd. We've got Flash in 4th. He's coming under quite a lot of attention from Hawkeye in 5th. Firepower managed to move on past Steele and move himself up into 6th. So Firepower looking to make amends for whatever happened to him earlier on as Flash leads this little group. Through the S's, it is Flash chasing after Smith. Smith in no man's land at the minute, really. He's got the front two that have really shot away from him. And then we've got this group behind as Hawkeye has a look at the inside of Flash as they get down towards turn 11. Flash just gets there first. Now then, who else was that? That was Steele. Steele having a cheeky look at the inside and tried to capitalise on it. Steele didn't get the best of exits. You could see Firepower weaving left and right to try and find a way past Steele. And has he got it done yet? No, he hasn't. He still can't get through. Steele managed to defend those last few corners from Firepower. He didn't get the best of exits, did he, out of turn 11? Steele, and I thought Firepower was going to capitalise on that, but just couldn't find a way through. Hawkeye, he did, and has moved up into 5th. Flash in 4th now has started to open up a gap. He's got a couple of car lengths gap between himself and Hawkeye, and he's catching very, very quickly up to the back of Smith, currently sitting in 3rd. We still have Bandit leading from Max in second, Smith in third. Was looking comfortable actually, all on his lonesome, but Flash is really putting in some decent times now, and he's catching up to the back of Smith. Let's just have a look. Bandit has got the fastest lap at the minute at 2:07. Flash, his last lap was a 2:10, with Smith in the 2:10s as well. Then we've got Hawkeye also, well, he's in the 2:12s. His last lap was a 2:12. His fastest lap was a 2:09. So he has got the pace as Hawkeye, he just needs to be mistake free. Then we've got Steele in 6th, Firepower in 7th, then quite a decent gap then back to Golden Lugnuts in 8th, and he's got Castrian, Addy, System X and Sid the Sloth all bunched up together behind him, as Sid the Sloth has a bit of a look up the inside of System X as they're coming out of turn 5. Sid tried to sneak his way up the inside, but excuse me, System X slammed the door shut on him there. Sid just having to settle to slot in behind System X again and try and pick another moment. He just needs to get a little bit closer to System X. If he can pick up the slipstream, then he may be able to get the job done as they go down towards turn 11. This is a fantastic opportunity to overtake on this straight. You've got the downhill section now that Sid is on, then it is into the braking zone and then into turn 11. Could have cut a lot more of that corner if he'd have wanted to. But nice little battle developing just up ahead. Castrian has picked up half a second, so that's going to open the door for Addy. Addy having a quick look now though, as they come up towards turn 14, and where has he gone? Yeah, Addy's got through. So Addy moves up into P9 with Castrian down to P10 and still carrying that half a second. He's going to have to take that all the way around for another lap before serving that one. That's going to give System X the opportunity to get a little bit closer. He can sense that he can take P10 away from Castrian with Sid there in 12th, and still in touch with the guys in front is Sid, so he just needs to get his foot down just that a little bit more, just push just that little bit harder. Back up to the top though, and Bandit is starting to gap back to Max. Very consistent is Bandit in the 2:07s, 2:07.8. 2:06 is 2:07.6 is his fastest lap, but his last lap was a 2:07.8, so only 2/10ths off the fastest for Bandit. So he is on it now, isn't he? He is relaxing into this race. Max in the 2:08s and very consistent as well, 2:08s, and that's what wins races, is consistency, so I keep being told anyway. But the gap is starting to appear now between the two of them. A big gap though between Max and G Smith. G Smith though looking good at the minute, got his foot on the podium on the 3rd step. He has got Flash chasing him down, and Flash is getting closer. Let's jump on board with Flash, shall we, as we head down the hill towards turn 11. Flash taking a much tighter line there, taking a big old chunk out the corner there, which you can do. You don't pick a penalty up there. Surprising how much of that corner you can actually steal, and that has put Flash right onto the back of Smith, having a good old sniff around the rear end, isn't he? Smith doing everything he can to keep Flash behind him. Oh, now then, bit of a late break there from Flash. I thought he was going to throw it up the inside, but backed out at the last minute. Wise decision actually, because that could have been nasty for the pair of them. They could have ended up with bits of metal all over the track if he'd have tried to pull that one off. But Flash did the right thing, backed out, and he's waiting for a better opportunity as they go through turn 17 to complete lap 5. Smith letting Flash know very early on that he's having that inside line. Flash just not interested. He's just sticking to his normal racing line. He says to Smith, go on, you have it. I'm not even going to bother coming over to that side of the track. As they go through turns 2 and then 3, sorry, turn 2, then into turn 3, it is Smith leading Flash, as Flash really does like to abuse the track limits, doesn't he? Steele in 5th with Hawkeye for company. Hawkeye chasing Steele down. Just within the slipstream, I think, is Hawkeye, so if he can stay this distance from Steel, when he gets onto that straight, it should just about pull him in and right up to the rear end of Steel by the time they get down to the bottom of the hill at turn 11. So maybe Hawkeye is thinking about making a move at the end of the back straight. So we'll keep an eye on that one. Firepower in 7th. He's just waiting for one of the two guys in front of him to make a mistake. And I think that may have been it. It's a fantastic drive there from Firepower. Hawkeye just seemed to slow up, didn't he? Maybe just gone into those... oh no, Hawkeye. What has happened there? We're just going to follow him. He's just entering into the S's, and we can pretty much see what's happening. You can see Firepower coming through now very, very rapidly. And Hawkeye, well, he seems to be having trouble with the gears. He seems to be stuck in 3rd gear. So he cannot get that car going. Oh, now then, he's had a disconnect. It's got to be a disconnect. He seemed to be stuck in 3rd gear. He couldn't get out of the gear. Nothing's happening at the minute now either. So he's had some sort of mechanical, technical fault. We're not sure what it is. Now then, has he got it back? He's got his gears back again. Maybe the pit crew have been pressing buttons frantically to reset that car, but what a shame. Hawkeye all the way back down to now 12th. What a shame for him. That was definitely some sort of technical error there. Big ask now for him to catch up. We are almost halfway through this race and he's now down in 12th. Back up to the top though, and Bandit really is starting to stretch his lead now as he goes across the line to start lap 7. Into turn 1 does Bandit. In fact, let's go on board with Bandit, shall we? We'll do a full lap with Bandit. So through turn 2 then, and then up towards turn 3, the left-hander. And then into turn 4. You can, as we've seen, abuse the track limits out here on the left-hand side, and that's exactly what Bandit's doing. You can get right across that curve if you want. Then as we come down the hill towards turn 5, into the braking zone, and then if you can clip that apex on the right hand side, you can get on the power very early. And that's exactly what Bandit did there, which was then going to pull the car up the hill towards turn 6, and we enter into the S section of this track. So into turn 6, then turn 7, and then turn 8, a left, right, left, through turn 8, through turn 9. You can actually cut across that sausage curve as well, and then into turn 10, which then leads us onto this back straight. 800 metres from the exit of turn 10 down towards the entry of turn 11, and bottom of the hill as well. So again, come down into the braking zone, into this right-hander. Very neatly done from Bandit. Then we start the climb back up the hill again through turn 12. Then into turn 13, full throttle through here. There's no need for lifting or braking as you come up towards turn 13. Then it is a dab of the brakes just to get the car to turn in. And then into turns 14 and 15, almost like a double right-hander. Then we turn into turn 16, the left-hander. Oh, Bandit really abusing the track limits there. I'm surprised he didn't get a penalty, actually. And then into turn 17, this sweeping downhill left-hander, and that is a full lap with Bandit. So thank you to him for taking us round. And he's got the fastest lap of 2:07. That last lap, maybe because he got the extra weight of me on board, was only a 2:08, but still pretty quick. Max still sitting in second then. And it's all looking very comfortable for Max. He can afford to just take his time through the trickier sections. Smith still in third, having a proper good fight with Flash. Flash is desperate to get onto the podium, isn't he? Oh, he's got his braking wrong there. That's allowed the gap to open up again between himself and Smith. I think there may have been just a bit of a bumper kiss there, as Flash got the braking completely wrong into turn 3. And as I say, the gap has opened up. So all that hard work he did to catch up to the back of Smith, he's got to do it all again now, but he's going to have to be very wary and be conscious of what's behind him, because he's got Steel coming in quickly and Firepower as well in 6th just behind him. So Firepower getting a bit of a free tow from Steel, so hoping to catch up to the guys up ahead. So a podium is not out of the question for either of these two guys at the minute. We are on lap 8, so 5 to go as we enter through the S's then for the 8th time, and Steele just leading Firepower through there. Firepower looking to get into the slipstream, get right underneath that rear wing of Steele's Corvette as they go along the back straight and start on down the hill. Firepower has a bit of a look up to the inside. I don't think he's quite close enough to get the job done there. Again, could have stolen just a little bit more of that corner, but kept it nice and clean. Golden lug nuts just about to serve a half-second penalty. He should be okay. I don't think it's going to affect his track position of P7. System X is just a little bit too far behind him at the minute. Very neatly done through there. There is a little bit of lag kicking in. It's I've said it before, it's not his fault, and you can see a bit of damage on that front right wing as well of System X, so he has been in the wars. Then we've got Sid down in 9th, actually having a good race. He's picked up a few spots, hasn't he, Sid? Still got the L plates on the back of his car. Hawkeye in 10th after that big spill coming out of turn 10 after the disconnect. Looked like he's got everything back up and running again now though, so he can just concentrate on finishing this race. Look forward to a better second race. Bit of a shame really for Hawkeye. He was doing well, wasn't he? But then we had that technical issue. But it's all good now, he's back up and racing, which is the main thing. Then we've got Castuan in 11th. Oh, Castuan flashing the lights now then. Is that an electrical fault, or has he got a problem, or has he just seen somebody in the crowd? Maybe he's doing it for the photographer. It looks better when they flash the lights. Not that that photographer looked very interested, but Castuan was definitely flashing the lights at somebody. And then we've got Addy in 12th. And the front of that Corvette looked very battered and bruised, doesn't it? And I'm sure the boys back in the workshop will be pleased to get that back in the garage so they can get some work done on it. It will be affecting the aerodynamics, I'm sure, all those dents, and at the back as well. So Addy really pushing it to its limits. Let's have a look, see what's happening out at the front. Look at the gap. If you look at the map at the top right hand corner, you can see that little red triangle going around the shop. That is Bandit, and the closest one to him is Max, just behind in second. But the gap is just, well, it's too big now, isn't it? We're on lap 9, so 4 laps to go, something like that. So it is Max is just praying that Bandit has an issue and comes off. Apart from that, he's going to be looking at a P2 finish, which again is nothing to be sniffed at. Steele in 3rd. Oh, Steele has managed to get by Flash. Let's just have a look and see what. There we go. So Flash has picked up half a second, that's why. So Flash picked up half a second penalty. Steele, well, he didn't need asking twice, did he? As Flash serves that penalty, and Steele goes through, gives him a wave, and moves up into P3. So Steele on to the podium. Just got to hold on to it now for the next 4 laps. Flash, though, is going to come back at him. He's not going to relinquish that podium and that champagne that quickly, is he, and that easily. So Flash is going to fight hard to regain that position again and push him all the way. It was G. Smith in 3rd, wasn't it? So I'm sorry we missed that, but Smith must have had a bit of an issue because he's now down in 5th and has got firepower all over the back of him. The fight, though, is definitely on between Steele and Flash. Steele currently in P3, Flash in P4. We'll go on board with Flash again as we go down the hill towards turn 17. And Flash has a bit of a cheeky look up the inside. Let's have a look, make sure these two guys keep it clean. Yes, they do, side by side through turn 17. And it is Flash with just about a bumper ahead of Steele, but he has got the inside line as they come down towards turn 1. Into turn 1, Smith has decided he wants to get involved as well and dives up the inside of Steele. That caught Steele napping. I think he just got his braking wrong. But Flash moves up into P3. Smith slides up the inside of Steele and moves up into P4, and Steele has to drop down to 5th. Fantastic stuff, and now Smith is coming back at Flash as well. as they go into turn 4. Bit of a touchy-feely session there, but they're all good. And he's now side by side with these two. So Smith wants to get back up onto the podium, and Steele fighting back as well. He's going to look like it is almost going to be 3 wide into this turn 5. Smith just backs out, hoping that the front two guys have. Oh, and Smith's gone very, very wide. That's going to slow him down. Firepower slides on through. Fantastic stuff from these boys. Flash moves up into P3, Steele in 4th, and Firepower, couldn't believe his luck, he was gifted a spot there, and now moves up into P5 with Smith having to fight back again. He's now in 6th, but he is right up the jacksie of Firepower, and he wants a piece of this action, doesn't he, again, into the slipstream. There's not a lot Firepower is going to be able to do against this, as Smith pulls alongside though, and they're side by side into turn 11, and yeah, Firepower just backs out of that one as he's got to go the long way round. Smith moves up into P5. Flash and Steele still at it. Flash currently holding on to P3 and that podium spot. We are coming towards the end of lap 10, so 3 more laps to go after this one. The first 2 steps on the podium are pretty much sorted now, as Bandit is just long gone. Max in 2nd as well. The gap is just too big. Excuse me, for Flash to catch up, but Flash has got other things on his mind at the minute, and that is the fact that Steele wants that place back. Smith also wants to get involved, and Firepower is there. Let's jump on board with Firepower and we can see what's happening ahead of us as we go across the line to start lap 11 into turn 1. Smith has a look at the inside of Steele. Steele goes very wide. He did that last time, didn't he? And he gifted a spot to was it Flash? So Steele needs to just defend those corners just a little bit harder. Smith now moves up into P4 and gets on after Flash. Steele drops down to 5th with Firepower in 6th as they go into turn 4. Getting on the power nice and early. Use as much track as you possibly can. We start on down the hill. You can see we've got Flash up ahead in 3rd, then Smith, then Steele just in front of Firepower now. Into turn 5. You've got to get over there a little bit tighter. As Smith goes very deep again. I think he did that last lap as well, and Steele just steps on through the doorway and moves up into P4. Smith down in 5th. All the while these 3 are battling away, then Flash can start to open up a gap, and that is what Steele is conscious of. Steele doesn't want to let Flash get too far away if he wants to get himself on the podium, but Flash is saying, come on boys, you carry on fighting it out, I'm going to scamper away off up the road. What a brilliant battle these 4 cars are having as we drop down into turn 11 then for the 11th time. Steele currently sitting in 4th, Smith in 5th with Firepower in 6th. There's a couple of car lengths gap between all of them now, as Smith starts to apply the pressure onto Steele. I think Flash is, where's he gone? There he is. He's starting to open up a slight gap now back to Steele, so Steele's starting to lose touch of him, but then again he has got Smith all over the back of him, so Steele, although he'd like to get himself up there on the podium, he wants to hang on to that 4th position as Smith dives to the inside as they come down towards turn 17 again, and Smith, can he hold on to it? Steele trying the old cutback, but cannot get it done. A great move from Smith. I didn't think he was going to get the car slowed down enough. Firepower having a look as well, so it is now Firepower pulls alongside. Come on cameraman, catch up. No, Firepower just backed out and let Steele and Smith fight it out. Steele he's not comfortable with turn 1, is he? We've seen a couple of times him getting that turn wrong. It just seems to be a bit of a nemesis for him, and he can't quite get it right, and it does compromise you into turns 2 and 3, but he's soon recovered as he gets around turn 4 and starts on down the hill. Let's have a look. We're on lap 12. Let's have a look, see what's happening elsewhere. System X and Hawkeye, they've decided to have a bit of a party as well, and for P7 as Hawkeye dives up the inside, just couldn't quite get the move done. He's still there. Oh, there's contact. Oh my, it's all kicking off. Hawkeye does slow down. He does let System X correct himself and get back on track. as they came out of turn 2. System X definitely got across the front of Hawkeye. Hawkeye, I don't think he could really do much about it, to be honest, but he did wait, so did the right thing. System X in 7th, Hawkeye in 8th. Then we've got Sid in 9th, all on his lonesome, with Castrian in 10th, struggling around turn 4, with Addy in 11th, and then Golden Lugnuts in 12th. So back up to the top then, as Bandit comes around turn 17 for the 12th time and across the line to start his final lap. And he is a long way ahead, isn't he? He will definitely, when he crosses the line, he will definitely go off and put the kettle on and make the sandwiches for the rest of the guys. That's the punishment for finishing so far ahead of everybody else. You have to get the tea made. Max in 2nd, all looking very sewn up for those two guys. The battle is still on though for P3, although Flash looks to have it under control now. The gap is definitely there as they cross the line to start the final lap. Smith holding on to P4 with Steele in 5th, and Firepower doing everything he can to gain an extra spot. Now then, let's just see as Steele managed to, well, it looked like he got turn 1 sorted this time around. Oh, as Firepower gets very squirrely on the exit of turn 2. And that has given Steele just that little bit of a breathing space again, so Firepower got to get back onto it. That cost him just that little bit of time, but I think he's still within the slipstream of Steele. So if there's any opportunities for Firepower, he needs to be thinking about doing it now. It's the back straight really is his only opportunity. System X and Hawkeye still fighting it out as they go through turn 2. It is System X doing a fantastic job actually of keeping Hawkeye behind him, making that Corvette as wide as he possibly can, as Hawkeye has a little bit of a snip up the inside, but nothing doing there as they go down the hill towards turn 5 for the final time. Is Hawkeye going to have another look? The cameraman really needs to catch up, don't they? So Hawkeye having another look at the inside at turn 5 and then back on the power to take him up the hill, but System X I think has got the run and manages to hold on to P7. We are going to go up to Bandit as he crosses the line now to take the win. A flash of the lights, he enjoyed that one, didn't he? And well, he's finished. Off you go then, kettle on, sandwiches, get that bread buttered, and I'll have cheese and ham please. Max just coming around turn 17 now and across the line, put up a good fight, didn't he, in the early stages of this race, but I think Bandit just shown just a bit too much class really. But Max, a fantastic result for him. Again, a big gap between himself and Flash in 3rd. But Flash, brilliant racing from Flash. He really has had to work hard for that glass of champagne. He finishes in 3rd. Smith in 4th with Steele 5th. Firepower across the line in 6th. It did look like Smith or one of them was carrying a penalty, so we'll see if that alters the results. Hawkeye has managed finally to get past System X as they come around the final couple of turns, and it looks like Hawkeye is going to be crossing the line in P7. Great little fight between these two. I bet they enjoyed that. Always nice when you have a battle with somebody else on track, no matter what position you're in. So Hawkeye in 7th, System X across the line in 8th. Then we've got Sid just coming around the final turn now, just ahead of Addy. So Sid, he's going to finish in 9th, or is he? Addy looked like he was coming in hot then. This could be a race to the line for these two. And it looks like Sid has just about got it. So Sid in 9th, Addy 10th. Castrian across the line, carrying a penalty in 11th. It's not going to affect anything though. He is at least a second in front of Golden Lugnuts, who finishes in 12th. So that was race 1 here in Italy at Lago Maggiore. Join me very shortly for race 2 when there will be a pit stop involved. So strategy all changed in race 2. I shall catch you then.